Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something super fun, a gorgeous piece, but as you can see a little hint of it back here. This is going to be a super fun thing because myself, Wendy Whitman, and Amber Scott from Mountain Knitting Creations are doing a design challenge, guys. So everyone's information will be linked down in the description. So if you want to see what everybody comes up with, we're all using the same mix, the sweater weather mix. As you can see, mine is cleaned out, but we're all using this mix and we're going to see just what the three of us can come up with. So make sure you hop over to the other gals' channels and their social media links, guys, and spread the love. Let's get started. Okay, guys, so let's see what we need to use to make this beautiful project. And here I have some chain. I'm using gold as my accent, but you can use any color. You want to have like a medium link in it so you can hook your jump rings through easily for your dangles to hang down on your lariat. So yeah, we're going to need that. And then I have some suede, or you can use just leather. I got 40 inches of that. 2 containers of 8/0 seed beads, head pins, some jump rings. I have smaller and a larger. Of course, our usual suspects are flush cutter, our tweezer plier, our chain nose plier, and then our round nose plier as well. And I'm just showing you here. And there's our round nose plier there, and of course our beautiful bead mix. And we're also going to need a couple ribbon crimp ends. This is what I use for the bottom of my suede, and of course a clasp. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some of my head pins and get those ready, and I'm going to put jump rings through my pom-poms here momentarily as well. I'm just dumping out some of my seed beads because I want to be able to use those to hold on some of those larger beads. That'll help a lot with not only just adding to the piece, but to help with those larger hole beads to stay on. So here I'm just picking up a seed bead and I'm starting to make my dangles. And just putting on various beads. You can see those beautiful wood beads. This is a gorgeous mix, guys. I highly recommend getting it. I love the neutral colors. So we're just building our links. Here is one of the beautiful gold spacers, and there's gold spacers and bronze spacers in this both guys, so you could use whatever color you wanted to accent with the metals. I did pull mostly the gold out, but I also used some of the bronze spacers as well to mix it up a little bit. So I'm happy with that head pin, so I'm going to go ahead and do a simple loop. I'm going to show you here. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is make a horizontal bend. I'm going about a quarter inch above my last bead, and you can see that here. And I have my horizontal bend there. And I'm just going to hold it on the tip of my finger. I usually keep it about a third of my finger for measurements wise. That's just what I think works best for me. But possibly, you know, a half an inch, a little less. Quarter of an inch. I'm not good with measurements. So we snip that, and we're going to take our round nose in, and we're going to put the round nose on the end of the wire, and we're just going to take and make sure, guys, when you're doing this, there's no wire sticking through the other side of the plier. When you're making these loops, you want it to be flat against the one side. And you can see here I just put my round nose pliers in, and I just twisted my wrist, rolled it, released the pliers, grabbed again, and rolled it again. And I just did some adjustments there. I'm just taking my tweezer pliers and just kind of touching that up and adjusting it. And you want to make sure what I'm saying here is I want you to make sure that you can have that loop centered on your pin, because it looks much nicer when it comes up more like a lollipop on a stick. And by doing the way that I showed you, it's much easier to get that effect. But I'm just showing you the loop here and how it's centered. So here I'm just going to put some more of our dangles together, picking out some of those beautiful rose beads that matches the suede very nicely, I might add. And we're just going to build some of those. And we're just doing our loop on the end, our simple loop. If you do want to learn how to do a wrap loop, guys, I do have a video for it if you'd like to check that out, if you're interested in doing the wrap loops instead of the simple loops. But see, on this one, it went a little bit too far for me, so I'm putting my round nose into one of the extenders on the pliers through the loop and one below, and I'm just clicking that back just a little bit, just maybe a quarter of a roll. And here I'm just going to put my jump rings onto my pom-poms, and I'm just showing you here to make sure and open your jump rings from front to back. You're going to do that wrist twist and not open side to side, guys, because that will ruin your jump ring for you. And I know I preach it all the time, but you know, we always have beginners coming in and checking out the videos, so I like to put those simple reminders in for everyone. Same thing, gonna put the jump ring on the other one. I just love these furry floofs, they're just so cute. So now I'm going to do the ribbon crimp ends onto the end of the suede. And you can see I'm just positioning the ribbon crimp in with the mouth pointing up. And there I'm showing you. And you just want to put a slight bit of pressure on it to hold it in place. Then put your suede into the end of the ribbon crimp or your leather or whatever you choose. And you're just going to give it a nice squeeze. You don't want to bear down too hard because you don't want to cut through your leather or your suede completely. But I just squeeze it and then in the middle and then just go side to side and then just give it a little tug to make sure once I have it attached that it is staying where I put it. And same thing here. There we go. So that's ready to roll. So now that we have all of our dangles done and our jump rings put onto the pom-poms, we're ready to assemble. Well, we need to cut our chain first actually, but I'm just kind of showing you here how I want my particular necklace to hang with that clasp that I have. I like mine to hang mostly on the left side, so then the bar clasp can come through the back. And all I'm saying here, guys, is I want you to just feel free to cut whatever lengths you want. I just cut one piece and lay it down. That's my beginner piece, and then I just kind of go from there. And I'm showing you, make sure to use the flush side against everything you cut and a heavier duty plier to cut your chain. And now I'm just measuring out, laying down and seeing, okay, I want one this length, I want one this length. And I've decided to do 5 lengths of chain on this. I just think it looks nicer, and I have 25 of the dangles, so I'm putting 5 dangles on each. And I'm going to put the pom-poms on the bottom of 2 of them. So just kind of laying things out, and I'm auditioning my beads to see how I want them to hang. And like I said, I'm putting the 5 per chain. And now I'm just getting my 6mm jump rings and just starting to attach those dangles to the chain one by one. And this is why you want to have like a larger link chain, guys, because you want to be able to get your jump ring through it, and so it hangs nicely and you're not fighting with it the whole time. You could use smaller jump rings if you want to. I just prefer the ease of the 6mm in this size of chain. So we're just closing our jump rings front and going front to back, wiggling it a little bit to get it to click in place. And I'm just going to keep attaching the dangles to the chain. and I figured I wanted my pom-pom, one of them, on the bottom of my longest piece. So I put that on. So I'm just going to keep assembling my chain pieces, and as you can see, I have all of them done here, and they're going to be ready now to attach to the clasp. And I'm showing you here, I actually pulled out some 8mm jump rings that I'm going to use to attach the chain to the clasp, because you want to make sure that your jump rings will fit around the clasp that you have chosen. I like to use bar clasps for this particular style of necklace. It tends to work better, but you know, you do you guys. You pick out something that makes you happy and you like the looks of it as well. So just adding one by one our chain pieces to our clasp. And this clasp is pretty neat because it has a couple holes on either side of it. So I put 2 of the chain links through the holes. And then the other ones were just hooked around the bottom of the clasp, which is fine. You don't need to have holes in your clasp for that to work. It was just a happy accident, basically. And there we go. I have all of my links attached to my open part of my clasp. And now we're in the home stretch, guys. We're just gonna hook on our clasp to our lariat piece onto our suede. And I'm going back to the 6mm jump rings, and I'm just open that up and put that through the end of that ribbon crimp. And I just love the ease of these ribbon crimps, guys. I'm just using more and more of them lately, it seems like. I hook that one side on, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is a heavy piece. So, you know, those were the smallest ribbon crimps I had, but you could also hook in, if you had something about that size, that situation, you could put 2 pieces of suede around the neck piece as well, just to make it a little bit more secure. But here I'm attaching the bar clasp. Which I may go back and add another piece. I haven't decided yet, but since I'm keeping it, I can take my time figuring it out. So there you go. You just put your bar clasp through your round part of your clasp, and you have a finished, beautiful chain dangle lariat piece. So I'm real happy, guys. I think this turned out great. I think it's going to be a fun project for beginners as well as everyone else. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.